afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Yes Summit 2018. This is another edition of the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, like that comes to you every year, organized by the Young Entrepreneurs Association, and we'll be having our summit like in 2 days' time from today. It will be on the 15th and 16th, and it will be taking place at Kairava Beach Hotel. And then today on the panelists, we are having the project manager from YEP, which is the Youth Empowerment Project. We also have the co-founder of YEA, that is Young Entrepreneurs Association, Mr. Aliu Jallo. And then on my far left, I have Mohamed Danso, who is the program coordinator for this year's summit this year, and also serving as program coordinator for YEA, that is Young Entrepreneurs Association. So without much to do, I will call on Mohamed to kindly give us like a brief introduction of YEA and our work. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. Good afternoon. Basically, as he rightly mentioned, my work with YEA, I work as the programs coordinator. Basically, YEA, for short, is the short meaning for Young Entrepreneurs Association. And what we do is we help shape the mindset of the young people from just being job seekers to job creators. So we do this having series of activities, which includes pitching contest boot camps, seminars. We help young people also to be able to come up with ideas, not just ideas, but ideas that are very, very innovative. One of the activities that we normally do, especially with regards to the summit, is the pitching contest boot camps. We've organized series of boot camps in all the regions. We've gone through to the far end of the country, where we've trained over 100 young people across the country. We've trained them on how to actually develop their business ideas and have them on their business model canvas. And we also help them to develop their presentation skills. And we've also helped them actually on how to craft their pitch and pitch their ideas to investors. So far we've already concluded the first round, and we've done the semifinals here a couple of weeks ago, where we've selected the 12 most innovative business ideas that will be participating during the summit. Those 12 ideas range from agriculture to the fashion. Right, so they will be taking part in the pitching contest boot camp on the 16th at the summit at Kairava Beach Hotel. So during this pitching contest, we will actually select the most innovative idea to invest in their businesses, and we also provide them with the platform for exposure. They will also be able to expose themselves, and then people get to know about their business ideas. Basically, these are some of the things we do. We also organize radio programs where we sensitize young people on how they can actually develop themselves to become job creators and not just job seekers. Thank you.
Month marathon since we started, but I'll just first of all thank the entire team for the job well done. For the past couple of months, they've been going to every corner of this country. We've organized in partnership with the Youth Empowerment Project, which is funded by the EU, funded this year for the incubator and the Entrepreneurship Summit to reach out to rural Gambia. And I think this is really very essential and important in terms of reaching to the rural communities and creating opportunities for the young people in their regions. The team was able to actually, as Mohamed alluded earlier on, was able to actually go to these regions and conduct different innovative exercises and entrepreneurship training programs to select the best young entrepreneurs with ideas that participated in these workshops to actually come and pitch their ideas at the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit this year. And at the same vein, we, in our partnership with the Youth Empowerment Project, we work to set up the best, I think is the best thing we've ever done. That is the Design Thinking Workshop, Design Thinking Trainers. That is a model that is used in Stanford University. It is a model that is used in the big companies like Apple and other institutions to actually come up with innovative products to continue to develop and innovate. And we have 15 Gambians trained on this, and they're actually on the process of being further step-down training and certification to be certified as innovative facilitators, and they can facilitate any innovative product in terms of product development to prototyping, testing, to the launching of an actual product. So this is really a very big milestone for the incubator as a hub for innovation and as a hub for entrepreneurship development. But today's session, we're here to discuss about the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, which is in 2 days' time. And the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit is something we started in 2016. This was organized then by the Young Entrepreneur Association in partnership with Partnership in Employment. But this year we have big-time players and our big-time partners who are our main partners for this year's summit as the Youth Empowerment Project. That is almost putting all the force behind us to be able to do this. And in this regard, we are working in terms of the summit is going to be in different sections. And we're going to have, the first session we're going to have is the CEO roundtables. We're going to have the business banter bars. We're going to have different workshops on thematic areas where young people and young entrepreneurs that are delegates are going to, divide it into different sections to come up with different actual solutions to challenges that young people are facing in these particular areas. At the end of the summit, we hope that we will have a communique that will come out from this summit, that we will actually be able to develop actionable blueprint that we can be able to share with other partners and develop actionable points. We hope that the issues we are going to discuss during this Youth Entrepreneur Summit we will not discuss next year, showing the testifying that we'll actually make efforts to work on headways as to some of the challenges that will be highlighted from the summit. So on that regard, I think I'll hand over to the MC.
Thank you very much, who have been, of course, working helter-skelter with us and, of course, funding our event. So I will now call on the project manager for YEP, that is Mr. Raymond, to also give a statement.
I'm very pleased to be here. If you ask ourselves why are we partnering, then the answer is the very question, the letter Y. Why? You have a lot of Y in there. Y standing for youth. You have the Youth Entrepreneurship Association organizing the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, supported by the Youth Empowerment Project. So you have a lot of yes and yep, etc. So I think for us it's a very natural partnership. I'm very proud with the work that has already been going on. As you probably realize, this is not just a summit. This is the finale of sorts of a journey that has started far back of engaging different youths across the whole country in exercises to tease out new ideas, business ideas, entrepreneurship-related activities. And now we reached a point where the best of the best will come together here in the Greater Banjul area, day after tomorrow, and Friday, to present their different fruits of their labor. So we will have a very colorful, a very inclusive summit that is indeed the final lapse, if you wish, of this longer journey. Now, for us, what is very key in this endeavor is this Youth Entrepreneurship Summit. Why we appreciate it so much, it's focusing on youth, of course, but it's also driven by youths. It's organized by youths. Youths are at the center of the organization of this whole summit, which for us is, of course, key, because we're all about youth empowerment. We're not just about, how can we create jobs for youths, but indeed youths taking things in their own hands and coming up with constructive solutions to issues related to economic empowerment, issues related to jobs, and attractive perspectives for young Gambians. What I'm also quite pleased with is that this year's summit is putting a lot of focus on inclusiveness. We see this as part of the program. We have interesting work streams related to education, related to health, where we're looking at what can entrepreneurship contribute to making a difference and, of course, creating jobs, but also solving or contributing to the solutions of wider issues and for economic and socio-economic development. And of course, we have the inclusiveness also geographically speaking. As we mentioned, there are youths coming from all over the country. And I think that makes it quite a special event. And we look very much forward to the event, to the different pitching, etc. So to just recall, the Youth Empowerment Project is an initiative that is funded by the European Union, implemented by the International Trade Center in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So we have a lot of different players coming together. Of course, the focus is on business ideas, it's on networking, it's on looking at new ventures. But what is also important for us is to also look at some policy-related aspects. And I personally look quite forward also to a very constructive engagement with the policymakers following this summit to see what are some of the key concerns and recommendations coming from the youths when it comes to making this entrepreneurial ecosystem more inclusive for youth growth, for youth-led job creation in the Gambia. So, of course, it's something that we will also critically ask our counterparts to make sure that these things are coming on the table, and we're not just talking about it, but we're also then embarking on a journey of implementation so that there are some specific and substantial and tangible results coming out of that. So with that, I think I hand it also back. Again, I look very much forward to it. I also like the fact that this is not just a summit where people come and talk. Actually, the youth, every participant will have to pay an entry fee. So that also speaks to a sort of a new Gambia, a new entrepreneurial spirit. And what we like to talk about is the entrepreneurship revolution, where things are not anymore for free, but where good content and networks are being valued, and also you see this value and contributing to it. So I hope that many of you will be able to join this summit, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Exchange, regarding the summit for better clarification.
Very much for your excellent presentations. First of all, my question is, how prepared are you for this coming summit? And during this summit, what are the key areas that you want to discuss, which you think that will have an impact for our youths?
Thank you very much. I think we are very, very prepared. We had a lineup of amazing speakers, and most importantly, we have a lineup of amazing facilitators. We're looking at key issues in terms of, as Raymond alluded earlier on, is in terms of inclusiveness. How can we make sure nobody is left behind? How can we pull each other to make sure that we all succeed together as one? And one of the key center of this in terms of is job creation. We realize that a lot of young people are going through the back way, and we want to make sure that we create opportunities back home here. But not only saying we have a job, but we need to make sure that we have a job that is decent enough to take care of the livelihood of the person that is involved. So this is one of the key things that a roundup of successful young people that have made it in this country, that are local champions, that are going to take the stage and discuss how they made it in here and how they can actually inspire others to make the same difference. And we also have another sessions in terms of inclusive access to finance. Most young entrepreneurs, when you ask them, well, what is your major challenge? They said access to finance. Finance is a problem. But this is where we're having different financial institutions and service agencies that are taking the panel to discuss what services do they have for these entrepreneurs, and how can they make sure that young people are there's more inclusiveness in terms of the services that they provide for these entrepreneurs. And we also have another session in terms of our education curriculum. There's a special workshop that's going to be facilitated by 2 people for 2 days. This is the workshop that will go not only in 1 day, but it's going to go throughout the whole 2 days. Because it's really essential to make sure that we incorporate in our education curriculum and our education system entrepreneurship. We need to also look at the challenges that we face in terms of our education system. We all know about our recent WAS results, which we have about how many % failures, a huge number, I cannot specifically quote. But we realize that our quality of education is going down in the country, and we need to make sure that we can put this on the table and look at the young people themselves. What do they think is the solution? It's not the other way around, where we have policymakers and experts sit in their offices and build programs for young people. But instead, young people want to say what exactly are the challenges and how do they think these challenges can be solved. And we have sessions in terms of technology. We have revolutionary technology that's going on. We're also encouraging young tech developers like the likes of Asutech that are developing into coding and stuff. They're going to facilitate workshops as to how to encourage innovation and entrepreneurship in terms of the technology sector. And then we have session on social inclusion. When we talk about social inclusion, you have the disabled people, you have the people who are marginalized communities, women rights advocates, and all these issues. They are also equally important in terms of national development, and we need to make sure they're in the same panel to discuss about entrepreneurship development. So this is the overall thing, gist of the training, the entrepreneurship summit that you will be hearing in the next couple of days.
One more question. May learn, this is the second edition of the summit. The first edition has been already taken place. You see, since the first edition has already passed, since that day up to now, did you make any assessment to see to it that there's improvement?
Conducted to actually quantify the level of impact, but I can tell you on a few success stories that I know that participated, like the winner of our pitching competition from last year actually won the pitching competition in Nigeria at the Tony Elimeli Foundation, and he currently also went through the YALI program, and he also actually is developing, he's already ordered all his products because he won for mosquito repellent, and he developed the product already. Now he's ordered his containers to put it in. He wanted to actually launch it during the summit, but because of some logistical issues, unfortunately, he won't be able to launch it. But we look for in the next of 1 month or two, he will actually launch his entire company, and we hope that you people will actually patronize and support these young entrepreneurs. And we also have a lot of the participants from last year's summit that also knew opportunities that are available from different institutions like the incubator and other institutions, and they use this opportunity to apply to these institutions to get benefit from this opportunity. So these are some few stories that I can actually just from top of my head actually give you. Okay.
Wow, there's a lot. Big one. I would like to just first build up on the question of monitoring, evaluation, assessments, which I think is indeed a very important one to be asked. We know that there has been a lot of entrepreneurship-related activities in this country, summits, roundtables, discussions, and so on. So I do think we need to be also very critical with ourselves and see, what are the new things that we bring into the table and what is different. Now, I'm again like to emphasize this is a summit that is not just a standalone activity. It's a summit that is part of a broader program of supporting young entrepreneurs across the whole country, empowering them through different boot camps, trainings, imparting knowledge, but also very practical skills in order to take the entrepreneurship route. And as a result, like we do for every implementing activity or every partner, we do take baselines from every beneficiary that we are supporting. So we're looking at those people who are participating now in this program, what was their level of income at the moment they have started, and we will go back in a year's time and looking at how has it changed over time. So we do tracking, even not just for the winners of the pitching competition, but we're looking at across the board because it's part of a broader program of capacity building. What is the change that we are achieving over time? And of course, I'm very hopeful and I'm confident that many of these young entrepreneurs who are participating this year's edition will be able to come out and have tangible improvements in their respective businesses. I think for this year's, what's the objective, what's the vision? I think the word inclusiveness sums it up quite nicely. Whether you look at education, whether you look at the health sector, whether you look at technology, whether you look at jobs, trying to find ways of using entrepreneurship as a vehicle to make these different sectors of the economy inclusive is, I think, the overall theme of this year's summit. And of course, it's not, again, something that is only relating to the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit. It's something that is very much echoed by the country's new the National Development Plan. It's, if you look at the different the objectives of the National Development Plan, whether it's in agribusiness, whether it's the human capital pillar, whether it's the pillar on youth, whether it's the pillar on private sector. These are the key objectives that are being pushed now. The youth, the National Development Plan also has this key enabling factors, where, for instance, ICT is being quoted as one of the key catalysts, if you wish. and they call them the critical enablers. So again, this is something that is part of this summit, looking at specifically how can we use technology, for instance, as a catalyst. And what we're doing with this Youth Entrepreneurship Summit is not just looking at, the tech sphere. Technology often is just looked at in the context of, well, you need to be able to develop an app or connect to the internet, but there is also the very important appropriate technologies, sometimes basic technologies that are being introduced at farm gate for climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation, to reduce the environmental footprint. So we hopefully also will hear a lot of case studies from this, like maybe lesser hyped sectors that are very interesting for other youths also in the country to pick up, and because there are interesting livelihoods. So again, for the forward-looking part, what's the vision? I think it's really to tease out what are the opportunities of the entrepreneurship sphere to bring about inclusiveness in the economy.
Yeah, so the fees are $250 is? Yeah, for registration, for the 2 days. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So we also be having a startup showcase where entrepreneurs who already have their products, who already have their products, they can actually come and showcase and sell their products during the summit. So we charging a fee of $1,000 for the 2 days. Yeah.
Some people may wonder, okay, where is this money going when we already have YEP? The reason is because we're having a pitching competition as well, and these pitching competitions, we also want to give them some cash prizes in terms of how they're going to do. And this is something not, in as much as we want to actually support entrepreneurship, it's about business. We want to train them to be able to make sure that they pay services, values to actually entrepreneurship development as well. But we're using these fees to actually give out cash prizes to the winners of the pitching competitions so that they can actually develop. Because a lot of time you have all these winners of competition or training programs, but they need some little additional funding to actually grow their businesses, and this is some of the things we gear towards that. And not only that, but it will also go into mentorship, support, and incubations, and all the additional programs that they will actually benefit from. And some of the also services that other partners will provide them, like websites and others, that we look forward to helping them register their businesses and all the other services in regards to the winners. Yeah, they're still partners. We definitely acknowledge all our partners from last year, because as a result of their partnership, we were able to actually get to this level. But in as much as we're having that this year, we were really constrained in terms of time to reach out to everybody else back as we did last year to actually have them on board. Because as you know, the last year's summit, 2016 was in October, but this year we're doing it in February because there were some logistical issues we were working on. But notwithstanding, we still encourage our partners. We look forward to seeing them in 2019 and working together with them as well to making sure that we take this to the next level. Yeah.
Okay, just to give the vote of thanks, I will just extend my regards on behalf of the YEA team to the media panel present here today, and have, of course, sacrificed their time to be with us. Want to say something? Okay.
Yes, just the last thing that I forgot to mention is at the closing ceremony of the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, we will want to have a press conference or a press release to share the instant and immediate outcomes that comes out from the summit to the press, so that people can know this is what exactly happened, and we can actually go back and write amazing articles for these young entrepreneurs and what we have done, so that at the end of the day, it's also easier for the press to hold us accountable for the following year. Because said, hey, you said X, Y, and Z was supposed to be done, but this year, what have you done? So we also encourage a very open, we're really very open. The interesting thing about the Youth Entrepreneurs Association, the Startup Incubator, and all these organizations is that they're all run by dynamic young people, and it's all organized by young people, and it is for the young people. So we look forward to be very critical from the media as well, and to look at ways as to how we can grow together as a nation. Thank you so much.
Thanks, which I think I already did. Anyways, on behalf of the entire team, we are extending our gratitude to the media personnel present here today, and those who have found in time to come and cover up for the press conference. And to our partner, Mr. Raymond from YEP. We also extending our gratitude for, of course, spending your time with us. And on that, I declare it closed for today until 2019. Thank you very much.